stand to Saban's empire. We built the league, broke the mold, and rewrote the code. Crimson Tide, unstoppable, undeniable, untouchable. 7-9 champs, goal line stand. Barry Cross made Penn State fold their hand. Chile ran, Ogilvie danced. Sugar Bowl glory, banner advance. Ray Perkins brought Bennett's wrath. 3-time All-American cleared the path. Bill Curry's crew, Siren Stacy's fire. Feet steep crown, crimson never tired. Gene Stallings, 9-2 reign. Teague stripped Miami, left them in pain. Jay Barker Lassick, Odin Tide, Langham locked down. Thorpe took flight, with nothing but a winner. The best to ever do it. Crimson Tide rolls deep. No one can outdo it. Built for the light, bred for the fight. We don't chase greatness, we define it right.
Roll Tide, Alabama. Roll Tide, Alabama Nation. We are 7 days out from the Crimson Tide rolling out to Norman, Oklahoma to face those Oklahoma Sooners for the second time this year. But tragedy has struck at the University of Michigan. I don't know what is going on. The details are sketchy, but the long and short of it, Sharon Moore was abruptly fired from the University of Michigan as the head football coach there in Ann Arbor, 39 years old, $5.5 million a year. And man, this man, he's done a lot. People don't think he's done a lot, but he's accomplished a lot in his short career. He was a coordinator there when they won the national championship under Harbaugh. He stood in the gap for Michigan when they were being scrutinized about recruiting and play practices. He took the suspension earlier in the year, 9-3 in his first season, 9-3 in his second season. But now, Ward Manuel, praying for you, Ward. Praying for you. Man, he had to let him go. He had to let him go with cause, which means he ain't going to get nearly none of that money that he deserved. And hours later, he's been detained by the police. It's not a laughing matter. And I'm going to bring it back to Alabama, but bear with me if you can for a second. I'm going to bring it back. This man has allegedly done a lot of stuff, evidence to this, that, and the other, whether it was DV or whether it was just scorn this or adultery or whatever. None of it's a laughing matter for nobody. Prayers to everybody in place. He was detained, reportedly not arrested, but it's a domestic. It's just crazy. He's being lodged. I mean, temporarily he was lodged at the Washtenaw County jail. Washtenaw County, it reminds me, that's one of the, I watch a lot of YouTube since I'm a YouTuber. That's one of my favorite judges on YouTube, the Honorable J. Cedric Simpson, veteran judge. He's in the Navy. And, more than a decent and honorable man. I like watching him on court. But anyway, he was fired in Ann Arbor. Gosh. The detainment took place in Saline, Michigan, outside of Ann Arbor. And there's an investigation being held by the Pittsfield Township Police Department. Of course, there are more details to come. And as somebody said earlier, oh, you're an Alabama channel and you're doing a story about Michigan? That's very observant of you. Very good for you. I should give you full-fledged applause for that. But, I'm just glad your reasoning, deduction skills are all together. So you applaud the person who did that. Everything affects the University of Alabama. College sports affects it. If somebody says there's going to be 3 group of 5 teams added to the playoffs next year, that affects the University of Alabama. It's all interconnected. But in this case, maybe the person will be happy. The opener of the Michigan head coaching job has started all type of speculation about not just Kalen DeBoer, not just a coach here, about the whole coaching staff. Mainly because of you guys. You're big meanies. And y'all too hard on him. And a lot of people are young and they got to look this name up. And I definitely couldn't spell it for you, but it was the same thing. I can't remember what his record was exactly, but our expectations were not mega high at the time, under one coach, Francione. Yeah, Francione. I just don't remember. All I can remember, before he got started, it was over. That man said he was out, and he was announced as the Texas A&M football coach, like in no time flat. I guess they were back in the Big 12, or was that before the Big 12? He just left. He said, y'all mean, y'all breath stink, and y'all drink the wrong kind of beer. He preserves his beer served in a glass. Just joking. I was just joking. But he did lead the University of Alabama high and dry. Unexpectedly, from what I understand, because I was not on the inside. But nevertheless, this does inject pure chaos into the University of Alabama, because this coaching carousel, you got to admit, the cupboards are pretty bare. I don't have time to focus on it now, but as I got with my guys, I call them the Creek Water Collective. We talked about it last night. All these coaches and stuff that are coming and going, like somebody's going to fail, somebody's going to get fired, somebody's going to do well, AD's going to get fired. And they, because some of the people that have been hired are going to found out to be in over their head, telling a bunch of lies, unable to get it done. Some people are going to surprise the nation and blah, 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 blah. But right now, if you need a coach, and there are still teams that need coaches, if you need a coach, and Michigan and Barstool Sports and what's his name, Portnoy, they be throwing around some cash. And I don't know what they would have to pay to get Kalen DeBoer out of here, or one of the coordinators, or somebody else. They're going to pay dearly, because I don't think they're going to just hire anybody, because they're already behind the 8-ball when it comes to Ohio State. They're spending the money, but they know you better have the right person in place to develop those players that you're bringing in for all this money. To quote the great Nick Saban, he said, 20 million, 25 million, if you mess around and give it to the wrong people, you're going to be SOL. Ish out of luck. And that's very true. But Coach DeBoer has been mentioned as a possible shocking candidate for this job. I saw somebody just earlier saying that he is not being considered, but who knows what goes on. They all are represented by Sexton, and I don't know, he get up, he scratches head this way, and I don't know, he winked this way, and the next thing you know, your coach is gone, or your coach getting a pay raise. If anything, Coach DeBoer might be, he might try to get a pay raise out of this thing, because I think 7 other people got a pay raise because of Penn State prancing around their doorsteps. I think Georgia Tech coach, Indiana's coach, Utah. It was a bunch of them. Elko. It was a bunch of them. They got pay raises because Penn State came. What y'all doing? Y'all hanging out? I'll hang out. But anyway, he spent his entire career, you got to admit, outside of the hot seat in the SEC prior to coming to Bama. I mean, what was the pressure at Washington? To perform, well over a 4-year period where you guys demand greatness every month. You want to win in the recruiting. You want to win in the offseason. You want preseason accolades. You want regular season performance. You want SEC championship game domination, and then you want the next championship. Y'all don't just want to go to the playoffs. I see it as building blocks. You do have to take a pause because the GOAT is no longer with us, but not some of you guys. That's not the case. But maybe he would like to be in the Big Ten. I mean, Michigan, who you got to beat? Indiana now, Oregon, Ohio State, maybe Penn State. USC may give you some issues. Why not? But I was even told that his wife said she didn't like it in Tuscaloosa. I tried to look up something to substantiate that. I was unable to find some that. What I did find is she let the cat out of the bag, because before the announcement, She was over there buying Crimson ties over at a dealer somewhere in Washington. It was like, wait, Mr. Boy, why are you buying all them Crimson ties? Like, Christmas? Ma'am, it's June. Valentine's Day. Whatever she said, it didn't work. That was in several articles I saw, but I saw nothing about her not liking her time thus far at the University of Alabama or in Tuscaloosa. But anyway, we over here, some of us are chugging tongues like, oh my God, they leave us. Only Lane is foolish enough to leave a playoff team because DeMar is not promised. But you never know. What if he makes a quick exit? What if he take one of the biggest jobs in college football? Oh, wait a minute. He has one of the biggest jobs in college football. That's something to consider. Only after being here for 2 years, that would be legendary. Lane was at Ole Miss for at least 6 years. Yeah, 6. So 2 years? His coach, the boy, had a chance to even work on his Tuscaloosa drawl. Barbecue, family. Because, Brian Kelly didn't get it. But it's kind of comical to me. Bama fans would need to hire, including myself, even though I'm confident here, but I would need a therapist as well as a premier coach if something was to happen. I don't know who they were going to get. I don't know who I would even speculate. Would we go out and try to get a John Gruden? Maybe Michigan needs to go get John Gruden. I don't think John Gruden will work very well in the NCAA, but everybody was talking that noise, and he said he wanted to coach somewhere, so why not? Gruden and Edge Orgeron in Michigan. That would be something else. And let's not forget, we have some people on our staff, like Coach Womack. He's already been in the helm of a team that was on the upswing. University of South Alabama they were just going there, but he was called upon to come to the University of Alabama, serve as defensive coordinator. And, he's competitive. He's aggressive. He got that mentality. He's definitely a shining star with the University of Alabama. He's helping them, hopefully helping. I don't know why he's not doing more. He's helping to make our offense better, if nothing else. But there's whispers and buzzwords all over the place that there are a lot of programs similar to the University of South Alabama where he left. They want him for more money on that level. He does one more good year at the University of Alabama, he may not be there anyway, especially since some of y'all don't believe he has a good defense. Unfortunately, for you guys, the SEC stats and the national stats say different. They say that a lot of people would love to have a defense just like ours, even though it lets go of too many rushing yards. But it doesn't let go of a lot of points or a lot of rushing touchdowns. See, everybody been talking about, every week they want to fire somebody for some performance. Kapilovic, whatever his name is, I'm done. I can see the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go there. If Michigan want him, please call the athletic department. He should be right by the phone. But when it comes to Kane Womack, who knows what the future may lie for him. He's been busy teaching the Tide how to attack and swarm. Michigan's opening head gig may be a little big for him, but he's on the right trajectory to take over the counter. And he has head coaching experience. I'm not sure if he won. I kind of like for a coach at the G5 level to have won at least 2 conference championships. I'm not sure if he won one with South Alabama, but the current drama in Ann Arbor, it's going to probably reverberate for a minute. If anybody can remember when Rich Rod took over at Michigan, it literally took them several years to recover from all of that. It was a change in style, a change and then Michigan, they weren't feeling it. I mean, they were just, and if Coach Moore is a player's coach, team could fall apart if they make the wrong move. It may fall apart anyway. Because who knows? They may drum up some other violations with Michigan and ding them for that. But anyway, Hopefully he's too busy bouncing ideas off of off the statue of Bear Bryant to see what we can do to even become a better defense. How can we finally stop the run, Coach Bryant? The ghost, please reach out to me. Or just call Coach Saban on the phone. They can help you out there. He's familiar with the swarm defense. Always use him as a resource. So he's over there with Coach Grubb, being a very competitive couple of guys. And divorcing those two would be a tragedy. Now, when it comes to our other coordinator who did separate from DeBoer for a little while to go to the NFL for a year, they have been together. They've been connected at the hip on a couple of different stops. If I'm not mistaken, Fresno and Indiana. I mean, Fresno or Indiana, but definitely Washington and now. So they've been together for a while. Grubb is he's still under the gun right now because he's been a trusted lieutenant, but the offense is falling apart because the run game's not going anywhere. I mean, and that doesn't leave him as polished right now, especially out of Michigan. That wouldn't bode very well. I mean, they say they got an offensive line coach for him, and they definitely got, running backs for him. They could take a chance on that, and that could impact the team. But he is a key component of our offense. For the -3 output they had the other day was very unusual. Injuries or not, it's possible that he could just be working and focusing on cleaning up this running game, and so we can turn this, I say, dream season, because it's great to be back in the playoffs. Don't it feel good? Turn it into a nightmare for other people. You know what I mean? Because right now we are living in a nightmare when it comes to that run game. Grubb's future is tied to DeBoer's hip for now, I think. If DeBoer were to be tempted by the chaos in Michigan, Grubb will be the first person he'll put on his back, and he will pack him up, throw him in the old rider truck, and take him up to the frozen tundra of Michigan. But as long as DeBoer is in Tuscaloosa, I think Grubb is locked in, and he's locked in. He's trying to return us to a 30-point per game scoring team, because we ain't scoring nothing now. It's awful. So there's work to be done. Focus on that, Coach Grubb. Keep your eyes on your paper. That O-line evaluation it's apparent. It's the longest answer that Coach Grubb gave all season inside of his press conference. He is focused on the run game. I just hope he ain't in over his head, and I hope it can be fixed hopefully in the next 7 days. The Michigan upheaval, it's opened one of the most prestigious jobs. I always say we got the greatest program ever, as far as I'm concerned, but there are some great jobs out there, and Michigan is one of them. Which, naturally, it makes every successful coach, especially those with Midwest ties like DeBoer, he makes you a hypothetical candidate. Oh, he gets to go home, more familiar territory, and blah, 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 and in the talking heads and the Feinbaums and the Stephen A's, who I wish if he could just leave college football alone, that would be great for me. It makes him a hypothetical candidate. But when they get to talking, ESPN is out here. You got to remember this thing about, do not turn on ESPN until the whistle blows, and in the final buzzer sounds, turn it off. Regular media is only to incite anger or to install fear. Period. I don't care what side or whatever you on. Up, down, round, whoever. Anger and fear is regular media. Sports media don't have the whole fear thing, unless you scared of losing your coach. That's not real fear. That's a word. But all they got is anger. That's why people get, I can't believe it. You watch, and then these guys go on Facebook. I can't believe it, man. It's their job. Stop watching it. This is what people start watching. People complain about, Arch, man, to make $6.6 million. You probably wouldn't make as much if you stop watching. I like the fact that Arch is making 6.6. I wish Arch was making 16.6. I don't care. Arch getting that money for the ancestors that didn't get 16.6 million. People like, they got paid. They ain't get paid nowhere near 6.6 or $16.6 million. Yes, there are some teams owed 16.6, but But I digress. Alabama's coaching staff rumor. It's just meal spinning, just meal spinning at its best. It's glorious. It's energetic, and it's nerve-wracking, especially for Alabama fans like myself and those with a lot less patience than myself. But I think we'll be okay. Let's focus on Oklahoma. Let's focus on getting the team there safely. Let's focus on getting people healthy. Tomorrow, I want to get more into the health of the team. And I may say something about the recruits that kind of surprised me. I got to drop some shorts on that. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let your people know what we're doing over here. We're making that run to Oklahoma. I just hope the Tide is ready. I hope you are ready. You won't have to work that day. And I hope we can get it all done. But thank you for joining me this evening. We'll see you tomorrow because we got more to talk about before we get to Stormin in Norman. And as always remember, roll, Tide, roll.